Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're here for episode 2 of Takopi's Original Sin. I'm not going to say I'm very excited to be here, but I'm kind of very excited to be here. Again, I'm used to saying very positive things about the things that I'm watching. I need to change some of that language around Takopi, I feel. I guess excited to see the other side of the story, which I think is the general setup going into this episode if the end of last episode is to be believed. We're going to see some Marina stuff, so we will see. We will see what's going on there. Have some thoughts, but we'll get there in time. First off, YouTube comments over here, if I can find them. That one? Yeah, that'll do. First comment here from Iwayuru. I have a few here, a few longer ones too, so I'm going to be going through at a bit of a brisk pace, just picking and choosing, that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, this slot is replacing Land of the Lustrous, which definitely was suffering, at least for a lot of it, so I don't know, maybe we can kind of make it the suffering slot. Food for thought. Maybe the unofficial suffering slot, maybe. So Iwayuru is coming at this from the perspective of somebody that's read the manga and is more looking at it as an adaptation rather than experiencing the story for the first time, and has overall pretty positive feelings on the subject, you would say. Albeit still preferring the manga, recommending that one instead. And I think a bit later on, giving me some pages. Yeah, kinda. So it would be fun to go and have a look at some of these chapters, potentially. Maybe something I'll do in the kind of analysis spot if I think about it, maybe. I was correct in my assumption last week that this is the studio's first production. I can't even remember what they're called. It starts with an E. Put it up on screen. Yeah, not dissimilar to some of the stuff with Look Back, which again had some names attached to it, but wasn't, again, it was a studio first for that studio. And yeah, hopefully, again, these guys stick around. Hopefully this is successful enough for them to do so, to justify that kind of thing. I think that's only a good thing. More studios, more, you know, solid, safe places to work in the anime industry. That'd be nice. So yeah, I'll skip to here now. So yeah, it's not in Jump per se. It's Jump Plus, so which is the app which is hosted online, right? Which has a little bit of a different vibe than the magazine Jump, I believe. Which again was my confusion. I'm like, this isn't. Hopefully, this isn't sitting there next to like whatever Shonen of the Week is going on at the moment. Hopefully not. That'd be. It'd be terrifying, I don't know. And yeah, apparently this thing was breaking all sorts of records. First manga posted on Shonen Jump Plus to receive more than 2 million views in a day, previously held by a couple of Tatsuki Fujimoto things, so this thing had a claim. And I hadn't even really heard about the manga, so don't know. I just missed it, apparently. Again, it's hard for me to jump off a lot of this stuff, which is just about the adaptation and the quality there within. Again, I'm one episode into it, but apparently, again, Iwayuru thinks that it nails the pacing. It's, you know, doing good stuff from that perspective. I don't know, that's pretty good to me. We'll take that as a vote of confidence. I will say again, yeah, like, staying true to the art style. Again, I haven't read the manga, but seeing the cover of it and that kind of thing, it's kind of unconventional, you would say. I do think we're kind of sticking to those kind of character proportions that we have going on there in a pretty cool way. We haven't kind of dulled that sense down at all. So yeah, this was surprising to me, but I guess knowing that the manga's only 16 chapters now, that makes sense. I thought there was pretty clear points in episode 1 where it would like end on a lead-in line. I guess that's just a scene cut in a chapter. It feels like the end of a chapter to me when kind of Shizuka says something to Takopi that kind of insinuates something and Takopi doesn't quite get it. I thought there's very clear points there where it's like, okay, well, that would be a chapter end. But no, that's just a scene end in chapter 1. So yeah, only 2 chapters out of the first episode. I think we do pick up the pace through time, but that's not necessarily doing more content more quickly, considering chapter 1's longer than others. So again, 6 episodes, 16 chapters, you do the math there. I think this was me wondering about some adaptation stuff and how certain stuff was presented in the manga, especially that montage, which we're talking about here. It actually wasn't in there. There is some anime original stuff. I liked the montage. I thought it was funny. A small bit of levity in something that isn't very light. And yeah, it was funny. I like funny things. I think this comes up in some other comments later as well, but I mean, I thought this one was pretty obvious. Like, I don't think in a story like Takopi, or as it's been presented thus far, you just have a character that is no holds barred, complete bully. Like, it doesn't fit with the ethos of what we're trying to get at with the show. Very rarely will you see just a straight up bully with no redeeming qualities, right? Or no reason for why they are the way they are. So again, it's very easy to go right ahead and say, oh yeah, Marina's clearly, a shitty person. Well, she still might be. That's neither here nor there. But again, thinking she's a shitty person and there's reasons behind that, and wanting her to like die and thinking that she's like the antagonist and that kind of thing is a different kettle of fish in my opinion, I think. But even before the end of the episode, I just knew there had to be more there. And again, very clearly there is. That's our lead-in for episode 2, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if we swap perspectives. We did switch perspectives away from Takopi at the very end of that episode there, which I thought was interesting. We kind of stuck with Takopi for the first 35 minutes or so there. So, like, that's a change. Like, we change point of view character. That's weird. And yeah, I mean, apparently it gets crazier, which, yeah, I'm interested to see how. And apparently I didn't miss anything major that I should be noticing anyway. So that's good. It's good to know. Next comment here from Parnik, who's excited about Takopi, of course, who holds the whole thing in high regard after finishing the last episode, which just finished 5 days ago, apparently. Recommends against binge watching. I think I'm already there with you. It's going to be a hard show to even watch 2 episodes of in a row. I don't know how you would do more than that, unless you're like not watching or not paying attention. And yeah, I mean, a bit of a personal anecdote here from Parnik as well. I mean, I'm happy you sought help. That's good. I mean, again, if the show inspired you to do that, even in part, then I think that's a net good, right? But yeah, I'm one to also see said warnings, right, at the start of episodes and going like, oh yeah, whatever, sure. This one was needed. I'm happy that it was there. Yeah, it was, I didn't think we'd go there with it, let's put it that way. Similarly here to the previous comment, again, some empathy for Marina is needed. I don't know about these people that were cheering on the abuse at the end of the episode. You people are insane. As a 10-year-old, by the way. And yeah, very clearly there's something more going on there. She's not just evil. She's not malicious. Well, she is malicious. We'll get there. Again, I know we'll get there. I really like this. The ribbon is kind of this metaphor for like really shallow kind of unhelpful help that people give to things. Again, wasn't there some discourse on Twitter recently about like somebody's like, I don't care if you're depressed, just go shower. It's like, well, there's a reason why it can't go anyway. We're not going to bring it back up, but it's like that. It's like something where you just clearly don't get what's going on, and you're just recommending something based on your experience without any semblance of empathy or understanding or anything, right? Even if it's coming from a good place, where I believe that Takopi genuinely wants the best for these girls, and or especially Shizuka, it's unhelpful. You're not seeing everything the way you should be seeing it, but in Takopi's case, at least we have multiple times to go through here and try to figure this thing out. Again, it ends up having the adverse effect to what is needed in the situation, I guess. I really wish I hit this point home a little bit more in the first video. It's very clear in retrospect. The bullying is incredibly overt, over the top, ridiculous, like to a massive degree, to demonstrate to a comedic degree how inept everybody else is in the situation. That is clearly what we're doing, right? How could nobody know? How could nobody know, right? Which is an indictment on everybody else involved, and it's meant to make you look at your own life and reflect and think, shit, am I being like everybody else here? It's food for thought, and I think it's really, really effective, and something that could probably be kind of dismissed as a little bit too much. I think that it's needed. I really like it as a decision. Again, from the like ridiculous way that Marina beats her up, to the ridiculous amount of graffiti on the desk, to the kind of image of the bag in the thing. It's like, how could you not know? Again, that's the emphasis there for sure. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. This can also be seen as a justification for some of the animation style changes. There's a marked difference between the montage where Marina's being thwarted, I guess, and the confrontation which Takopi has with Marina towards the end of the first episode. Like, one's kind of goofy, like we say, like Looney Tunes-esque here, you know? Again, that shows Takopi's naivete, and then once Takopi's actually in Shizuka's shoes, it's like, oh shit, this is actually the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life, and something that I've never seen before. Yeah, here we talk about it too. Really interesting that Marina bullies Takopi into temporarily dropping the speech style, the P stuff, right? Which you just kind of thought was automatic, but no, it's not. If you're really that shook to your core, you drop that part. And again, it's a great difference. I just think it's really cool. I'm unsure how to kind of talk about it, but I like it a lot. It just makes it feel real. Again, we're out of like a cartoon. I'm no longer like a 2D kind of little mascot character guy. I'm an actual person. This shit actually hurts, and it's not a fucking game. It's not a cartoon. You know, I can't be doing this kind of stuff. I need to grow up. I'm almost forced to grow up, you know? And again, yeah, I need somebody a little bit more versed in the production side of things to say how good the production is, because, I mean, I'm not like a layman. I just don't know how to talk about it. It's really good. It's obviously really good. So, like, I'm going to continue to just say it's really good without really like kind of justifying why. It just looks great and tells the story effectively, and it's paced really well, and the music's good, and it's great. It's obviously great. Last comment here from Lazy Joe. Perfect time for a rewatch now that the show has ended. Oh yes, this is where we talked about POV. We're always in Takopi's POV for the entire episode until, again, the Marina scene at the very end. And again, very early in the piece, right? It, again, builds that kind of sense of dread and dramatic irony, even if that's, like, as a very intense form of dramatic irony. But yeah, just, we know what's happening. Takopi doesn't know, and it's like, oh no, oh shit, Mamiko Noto? I wonder if the mum has more of a role. With that, we'll finish the YouTube comments. We'll jump over to the Patreon. Again, if you want to see next week's episode 1 week early, the Patreon is there and available. Episode 3 should be up, if you're watching this publicly, of course. $6 a month gets you that. Linked in the description. All that other kind of stuff. Let's shout out the people, such as Mickey Babbers, AF, AJ, Bananarama Hamadama-sama, BD422, Bisa, Capella, Chobaribi, Copley, Dapper Dwarf, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Gus N, Hans Peter, Hibiki Tachibana, Ika, Iwayuru, Yaku Yavanen, Jami Boo, Joran, Kasogtha, Clem, Nosta, Cot Begemot, Lick H, Lou, Marco San, Matthew Bratcher, Miru, Mistake L Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Aussie, Parnick, Pencil Sharp 333, Ronlad BNK, St. Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Vibrant Weaver, Waifu Overdose, Without a Net, Yuki Ali, Akomancer, Binshi, Kelvin, Voodoo Chili, Aiden O'Brien, Guanal, and Zach. Thank you to everybody for giving me money. I enjoyed the money. Takopi, the show. You guys know the general premise. Shizuka, in one timeline, kills herself. And now we go back a few days, and we're going to try to prevent that from happening. And Takopi's going to need to learn things and, I don't know, see the root cause, get to the bottom of it all. And we've kind of zeroed in on, okay, it's Marina's definitely a part of it. So then we try to confront Marina about it. And then Marina's really violent, but she also drops some hints that the family situation isn't great. There's something going on with Shizuka's mother and her father, and yeah. We kind of close episode 1 with kind of, hey, the mum might be kind of abusive towards Marina, because it's like very like possessive ownership, almost using the kid in the kind of parents fight, which is very not great, obviously. Theme coming through of dads being real shitty. There's Shizuka's dad's not in the picture. This dad's adulterous. I don't know. Just kind of neglectful as well. Everyone's kind of neglectful. Nobody's like good. And anyway, we're keeping an eye on the dog too, because the dog's a big part of this. The dog, we're linking in with the father in a big way. Cool. Well, we're going to investigate. The other thing was subs. Nobody talked to me about official being bad, so I'm going to continue to use official stuff. If people feel strongly differently, you got to let me know. And let me know in like a few of you. That'd be great. But yeah, I thought official was fine last week too, so I guess we're just rocking with it. Without any further ado, a bit of a long intro, but yeah, let's jump into episode 2 of Takopi's Original Sin. Let's do that right now. Man, I'm never going to get over that trigger warning, huh? Just puts you right in the mood, huh? Anyway, this one's a little bit shorter. I didn't know that. Okay, only 21 minutes and 40 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. I have the official stuff, should be the Crunchyroll version as opposed to the Netflix version as well, if you were umming and ahhing there for some reason. Either way, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Now let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Radio. Settle back in. Now this was also the episode that had some really cool stuff. Oh. No. I doubt that. It would make me nervous too. Because it tells me, like, whatever she's feeling, she's probably bottling it up. Again, I think I said this last week, but, like, I guess there is a melancholic tone to the opening. I was going to say it lies. It definitely lies about the... I'd say the chorus part lies for sure. This part. Actually, I really like the opening. I don't know. If you don't want to see the best for Shizuka, I don't know what motivates you in life. I don't know. I want to see people get better. Takopi's salvation. Interesting. Yeah, I imagined little as in, like, a baby. But no, you remember it. Okay, they're laying it on pretty quick. Or pretty thick pretty early. Holy shit. Okay. What's the... He's Chappie. I love Chappie. I was thinking the same thing. But no Chappie in sight. What happened to the dog? Here we go. No. Clearly not. So what happens here? Does... Yeah. You're a sicko. You're a sicko. No way. You're a sicko. This is a sick, twisted fucking joke. No way. Chappie! Yeah, go back now. Don't go back tomorrow. I don't think that's... I feel like she's almost trying to find you, right? No, no. Yeah. So great. This should be revealing to Takopi, I guess, the cynical nature of what Marin is trying to do. Exactly. Yeah, no. But you got to think, Takopi. Think about why she's doing this. Why is she looking? That's fucked up still, right? Mm-hmm. So what do we even do? Just gotta stay determined, Takopi. Hmm. First look at her mum. Hmm. Her dad. Interesting. Yeah, the implication there's insane. Hmm. Yeah. So again, skipping to the end there, it demonstrates the inevitability. But you got to change something, otherwise it's going to continue to happen. I wouldn't leave Shizuka alone for too long. Little smile there's insane. Yeah, where's the dad? Yeah, she's pretty fucking done with you. Which is fair enough. Cool, 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 cool. Terrified too. What is this? Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei? Azuma? Ooh. Has she said a word? Again, much like Takopi, we're gonna try harder, right? Or change tact, or... What's next on your sick agenda? I wonder if we're going to come back to any of the stuff going on with her again. Because we've gone straight back to depicting her just in the worst light possible. Yeah, I'm not... Takopi, we gotta... I'm getting bad vibes, man. You think? Are we gonna talk, or... Are we gonna talk? What do you mean by that? Takopi! Is this cunt for real? Yeah, get moving. Come on. Time is of the essence. I'm terrified, by the way. I also got that vibe too. Cool. Same spot again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, Takopi, you seeing this shit? Hmm. What's he doing? He beat a skull in with the camera? Yo. Is that blood? Is that like a lot of blood? I don't think that was the answer either. Yeah, is she is she good? Holy shit. Takopi. I think you fucking killed her. What? Are we serious? Am I being fucking like pranked? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, but yeah, but yeah. That's not what that means. Yeah. What about yours? Interesting. Title drop too is insane. Can't say I expected that. Holy shit. Okay. I thought I had the show figured out. Now that opening's really funny, huh? Yeah, I thought I had this shit figured out, man. Holy. So, two things. One, Shizuka is under the wrong impression. Just because Takopi fucking just absolutely murdered the fuck out of somebody doesn't mean the magic's real. Doesn't mean that everything else is fixed either. I think you'll find that everything's much the same. And also, there's a dead child, and there's no culprit right now. So, who are we gonna pin it on, basically? Holy shit! Okay, I'll return probably later tonight, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. We're just gonna take a moment to breathe with that episode, I think. Holy shit! Yeah, fuck. And we're back. It's a little bit later on that night, and I've kind of calmed down after the reaction itself. Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's an insane twist. And again, I'm kind of caught in two minds. And okay, bear with me. One option: this is a fake out. There's going to be some other supernatural thing that we bring up, whereby she's going to be fine, or we can actually reverse time, or some other thing where we're going to bring Marina as a character back. Boo, that's lame. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's actually dead. Just reading the framing, reading the presentation here, you would imagine that she's dead for good. And it would feel like it was almost kind of cheapening this moment if she ever comes back, really. So yeah, it seems like Takopi is a murderer. I was on my high horse last week talking about, I know what Takopi's original sin is in the show. It's this. It's the Shizuka stuff. No, I'm going to actually think it's this kill. Now, again, as I was talking about during the first upload, original sin has a lot of religious context, and essentially it's used in the whole Adam and Eve debacle. But it also extends out to Cain and Abel. So I think that's kind of what we're getting at here as well. There's a lot of original sin coded in killing another, right? And what happened there with Cain and Abel, of course. I don't know. He says he's from a planet where like they don't kill each other or whatnot. We don't really have a word for that. So I think that was the line, maybe. I don't know. We'll reread here in a second. Yeah, I feel like this is like Takopi's like got a taste for murder now. And here's the tricky part, right? It's like, okay, I've committed murder, and Shizuka's super happy. It's the first time I've seen her this excited. It's the first time I've seen her smiling so brightly. How much emphasis was put on protecting that smile in that first episode. Is this going to make Takopi go down a little bit more of a darker path? That could be interesting too, right? Takopi being... Because Takopi seems like sneaky powerful. That's why, again, I was just kind of swinging my camera and this happened. Like, he's an alien, he's got alien strength. People supposedly also can't see him or think that he looks like a flower sometimes too, so he's got kind of disguise shit going for him as well. I think he's got more strength than he knows, and he may fall into a trap of, hey, well, if it makes Shizuka happy, anything to make her happy... Do we go down that path a little bit more? Now, so far, I'm swinging like 0 for 1 on predictions on this show, because full disclosure, I thought that this show was then going to go into, okay, now let's focus on Marina as a character, and maybe even Takopi gets involved there, and then we, do some like sci-fi stuff with some body swapping, and Takopi figures out what's going on at home a little bit more, and then we dig deeper and deeper, and we all hold hands and sing Kumbaya at the very end. Something like that I thought was sort of where we were going. So for me, this is a huge twist. I just did not see it coming at all. And makes me hesitant to predict forward from here. So me saying all this stuff like, okay, well, maybe Takopi goes on a killing spree, kind of on Shizuka's behalf or whatnot. I could just be completely wrong. That's where I feel like we're heading, but, you know. And you'll notice I'm spending a lot of time here just kind of talking about it, because I was kind of blindsided by the episode length, if I'm honest. 21 minutes and 40 seconds, no matter how good the content is, which it is, it's short. It's short for an upload. I probably could have did another one if I planned out my stuff a little bit better, but I didn't, so it's just one episode here today. I guess we'll reassess going into next week. Maybe I'll keep both handy, 3 and 4 downloaded maybe. That could be an idea. Because it kind of is Marina doubling down on being the worst person ever. We'll unpack the dog stuff, the stuff with Chappie. Holy shit. You're terrible. I mean, again, we talked about justifications why. I don't know why I need to always put the caveat on it, but yeah, she was pretty fucking shitty this episode for sure. It's kind of that and the very end here. Those are kind of the two main things in the episode. Other than that, there's not really all that much. For the record, and again, I'll be skipping around here a little bit, this part here, like all this part here, fucking killed me emotionally. I'm not one for, you know, emotionally reacting, even though, again, that's kind of what I'm supposed to be doing on the channel. That's probably the closest you can get from me. I almost cried at Girls Last Tour, the manga. I think that's the closest I've ever gotten. Other than that, this is probably up there with almost second. Like, this part, this montage really got to me. So, kudos on that part. And over here is one of the most appalled, or times I've been the most appalled on the channel. What a sinister little scheme you had going. So yeah, I feel like I need to settle down. I'm jumping all over the place a little bit. We should go back to the start here and talk from the very start once again. Just yeah, what a twist. What a twist. And it leaves me wanting to see more, but also hesitant of what even more is. Because, again, are we going to go down that killing spree route? Maybe. I don't know. All to avenge the dog, of course. Now, another thing, just while I'm here, sorry, I'm kind of off in every direction, but the camera doesn't work specifically after killing, which I feel like is very pointed. So again, we have this kind of sci-fi magic do-over machine type thing, but as soon as we use it for murder, for killing another being, then that ceases. It's almost like the magic disappears along with it as soon as the seriousness of what we've done comes in. It's Takopi, no backsies time, you know? And we're really emphasizing that. And kind of further on that point, it seems as the kind of magic leaves Takopi and the camera and that kind of thing, it no longer can use its ability, the magic kind of floods back into Shizuka's life. There's kind of an exchange here, right? But I choose to believe that this is a false sense of magic, a twisted and warped sense of magic, and kind of a coping mechanism as well. It turns into, I can definitely get Chappie back, I can definitely see Dad again, I can definitely do all these other things, where it's like, no, that's not. Especially now that Takopi, the conduit for this magic, is seemingly magicless, or a little bit less magical. I don't know, a couple of ways you could take it there. It's almost like Takopi has lost his innocence in exchange for Shizuka's happiness, albeit temporary, right? In that way, it's Takopi's salvation, the title of the episode. Takopi is taking this burden, is almost Christ-like in the sacrifice here. Let me bear the sin for you, you know? But the whole thing here just can't help but feel kind of icky, right? I don't think that this is how it was meant to go. Not at all. Yeah. Again, are we going to risk it all for your temporary happiness? Because this isn't going to fix things. You may think that murder in the short term will fix things, and I don't know, we can band-aid solution a couple of other things, my life can be better, but it doesn't tend to pan out that way. I don't know. It's a tough one. Is this better than what it was before? Maybe. It's tough. It's morally grey, IMO. Again, we'll reiterate that when we get around to it at the end of the episode. Let's jump back through here. Just wanted to pause here very early. Something that I'm saying pretty squarely is that the whole class is now against her as well. Marina seems quite popular, good with words, probably convinces everybody that you're bad news or someone to be hated. Just look how they're all kind of ganging up on her. If we go down a darker path with Shizuka and this newfound power potentially, I can't say there wasn't evidence as to why she felt that way. Let's put it that way. We'll get to the mum too. The mum's not great either. Ooh, this is great. Okay, this is very early in the episode. Marina didn't really do anything to Shizuka today, and we're saying that's strange. As we zoom in on this sign, this keep out sign, this like place which we pass later on, which will be the kind of scene of the crime in the kind of end of the episode. In the framing, we are keeping out of this spot right now, but as soon as we cross this barrier, we cross this line that we can't cross again. That's when we do the deed, do the kill. That's very interesting. Yeah, so we're just kind of skirting on the boundaries right now, not quite crossing over. I will say overall, and again, maybe this was based on my expectations going in today, I felt like we did a couple of step backs with characters. I felt like Takopi was right back to being super naive again, and I felt like Marina was right back to being the worst person ever again. Now, we kind of ended, or in my opinion, ended episode 1 painting Marina in a little bit more of a sympathetic light, or at least justifying why she does the things she does, or at least her thought process in doing so. We didn't really add on to that in a concrete way, IMO, and maybe we do that kind of post-mortem, potentially. Yeah, again, do we take some of her DNA, maybe? That'd be an idea. Yeah, listen, just I thought we would go in a different direction, and it's not criticism, but it's more like, okay, Takopi, switch on. Hey, Marina, can you stop being such a dick? Like, just didn't really happen that way. As I said in the reaction as well, this opening now super duper lies, because we get to hear where we're all playing, like, happy buddies and whatnot over here. Like, this is super duper fantasy, considering one of these characters is now dead in a ditch. Now, I'm quite happy we doubled back on this stuff, because it was one of my major takeaways from episode 1, linking pretty squarely Chappie with the dad, right? So I always used to go on walks with my dad way back when. It's been a while since I've gone on a walk with anybody. The only person, or the only thing I really walk with anymore is Chappie. Now, the dad stuff, and again, we're rewatching here, we're going to find out again. I feel it's kind of hazy. He's dead, I think, because you seem pretty cagey about talking about him. Mom seems pretty cagey about talking about it as well. I feel like it may be a thing where dad's dead and you don't know. Because then it's like, okay, well, the dog went to live with dad. Well, living with dad also means dead. And mom thinks I maybe don't know. I feel like there may be something like that going on. I could be wrong. We're going to reread here, obviously. But Chappie's like this thing that dad left behind that's kind of the only good thing that I have. Now, again, where it becomes interesting later on is where Marina gets into that and her own insecurities around her own father and taking that away from Shizuka in turn. It's all intrinsically linked, in my opinion. It's all the same kind of idea. Yeah, again, we're kind of ambiguous with the language. He left when I was little. Oh no, it's just completely wrong. My mum and dad from divorcing. So dad is divorced from mum. Gotcha. This is another theme in the episode too. That's when I knew there was no such thing as magic or gods. Her belief in magic comes back when Takopi does what he does. Again, deep down, secretly, I was wishing pretty bad things to happen to Marina the entire time, and those things happening to her proved that magic does exist, and I can believe in these, the essence of childlike wonder and stuff, which is kind of dark, but I mean, probably justified considering what's happened to her. I do find linking it into the stars is interesting too. There's kind of the stuff around Planet Happy and wanting to get to Planet Happy, kind of looking up the stars like that too. That's, I mean, stars, like, if we take a step back out of the show, looking up at one's stars is one's destiny, generally. Like this fateful day where there was the split between my mother and my father, which kind of informed, you know, what's happening now. Like, it was written in my stars that I'm also here on this day too. Oh, this was a great touch. So this is very subtle, but we cut to this clock and it just ticks along to 7. And it feels like we've, like, locked into something. It feels like the clock has passed, and it's past the point where we can return from again. It's like, oh, something's locked into place, now we're fucked. I don't know how, it must be the sound effect they use, but it really feels like that feeling, I guess. This is when we pay off on the mystery from episode 1, cutting from Shizuka happy at night with Chappie, going for a walk, to whatever the hell happened on the day of her suicide, or happened the night before to make her feel that way. Yeah, essentially this thing happened with Chappie that night. Takopi wasn't there. So then Chappie gets taken away. She goes to school same the next day. Doesn't say a word. Goes off with Marina into the forest. That whole scene happens where essentially it's like, well, dog's dead. Dog's not coming back. The one light in my life. You're still carrying the collar, which is so sad. And then you kind of fill in the blanks from there. Again, I didn't need it explained out, but I guess the part I didn't know is Marina's role in the dog going missing, I guess. And I mean, it is just full-on sicko behavior. So Marina, after not doing anything all day, kind of holding in these feelings, probably something happens again that night, akin to, again, her mother pressuring her, that kind of thing. It all finally snaps. She realizes she has to go do something. She tracks down Shizuka and puts together a plan whereby I'm going to be violent with this dog's owner. The dog's going to retaliate and then get put down because it's a dog. And again, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the girl that got bit by the dog, or, Shizuka, who's going to tell the other side of the story? It's like, we're probably going to put the dog down. It's probably what's going to happen there, right? It's a sick, twisted joke from you. It really is. Just, what a sicko. What a sicko for sure. And again, I've kind of talked about this already, but in the episode, we don't really pull back on the whole Marina motivation thing till about, like, here. Where it's like, okay, Mari-chan, you understand what you need to do. That's kind of the reason why I feel like I need to continue to do this, right? I don't know, it's interesting. It paints her in a very, very villainous, negative light, which again, wasn't my read. But that's okay too. It isn't fully villainous. I don't know, it's a tough one. There goes Chappie, falling for the bait. I mean, I probably would have as well. Yeah, look at this sicko. She's loving every moment. So another interesting thing happens here, in my opinion. We see, I guess, the limitations of the camera, so to say, and also Takopi's lack of awareness about what's actually going on. So Takopi continues to use the camera in all these situations to reverse back and try different things to just avoid the conflict, right? Okay, let's walk on a different day. Let's not walk at all. Let's go, all these different areas away from her, right? But no matter what, Marina-chan keeps showing up. What's the deal? It's Takopi's lack of awareness that this is a targeted attack that is the downfall here, right? You can't just paper over it. You can't just band-aid it. She's gonna do what she's doing. She is tracking you down. And not realizing this and letting the situation play out to the point where Chappie gets taken away and all that kind of stuff leads you to later in the episode where you do certain deeds. Again, it's the now where you're making the mistake, or at least some of the mistake, IMO, where it's like, okay, I'm not considering why this is happening enough. And again, through here, it's kind of just a montage showing each and every time she showed up. I guess I should cut Takopi some slack as well. I guess he doesn't understand like what will happen to a dog if it bites a human, I guess. That's a crucial part of the understanding of Marina's actions here and how like twisted and sadistic they are towards Shizuka. Because you know a few things. You know how significant the dog is. That's one of them. But what you don't know is that she wants to get bitten so that the dog gets put down. I don't know, I'm cutting him some slack, I guess. Takopi here realizes how devastated Shizuka is at the events occurring, notices some similarities to how she was, again, the next day, the 7th day, and vows again to save her, vows again to try again, so that she won't have to do something tragic. And again, all these lines are clear setups now. I promise I'll do anything. I'll put the biggest smile on your face you've ever had. These things happen by the very end, but the reason is murder. The reason is I fucking killed you. I killed your bully, I guess. Yeah, It's an interesting way to frame it. It's not where I would have taken this story. Now, I believe this is the representation of the inevitability of it all. Like, okay, no matter what, there's this kind of montage in between here of like, okay, you say these things, but at the end of the day, I still end up at this spot. So this is the first time we've also spoken with Shizuka's mother. She seems pretty non-caring about the whole thing. Again, I'm going to cut her a lot of slack. Single mum, can't hold down a proper job, probably is an escort by night. Was working 2 jobs in that way, I guess. All in the hopes of, paying rent, keeping my child alive. You got to do what you got to do. It's easy to be burnt out by, the dog biting some other kid or something. It's just another piece of shit on top of the shit pile. But I mean, what are we doing it all for, though? If not for Shizuka? Like, at least try to notice how obviously devastated she is and try to act accordingly with that. I don't know. Just on a level, maybe look her in the eye. That'd be a good start. But yeah, a few choice lines here. The dog's going to go live with your dad. Dog can't be in the city if it bites people. You'll get him back one day. Yeah, so that's when I was like, oh, okay, if the dog's died, the dad must be dead too. That was incorrect. I was wrong. This is a convenient excuse to tell a child to avoid telling them that the dog has been put down, because it will only lead to more trouble if I tell them the truth, basically. You'll get him back one day is a lie, unless you go see him in heaven. That's the only way you're going to see this dog again. The undercurrent of it all as well is that you don't see your father ever, and he doesn't want to see you either, so you're never going to be able to verify where Chappie is. If that makes any sense. It's a purely convenient lie because you'll never be able to check if it is a lie. Which again is another piece on the scumminess pile in my opinion. Yeah, so okay. I need to double back here again. There's some silly stuff going on. It was just a dog he left behind in the first place. Left behind. Okay. Left behind is an interesting word. I want to go here. What are you saying? Yeah, it's this line here. You don't have a dad. You don't have a caring mum. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just misreading it completely. I don't know. I keep thinking the dad's dead. Anyway, dropping that, let's focus on the other dad in the situation, which is Marina's father. She says that her mum's furious. I have to go fix this now is the implication. Don't make more work for me. Don't make this any harder. To me, I'm reading this as the dad almost using this whole situation and everything else happening as leverage to get more of you, if that makes any sense. Like, man, my wife's super furious and, your dog bit my kid and all that kind of stuff. Now maybe come here and do some stuff you wouldn't normally do, or come here and do some stuff for, a little bit less of a price or something. Am I alone on that island? I feel like that's the implication. Don't make my job harder for me. I don't know. Is that what we're getting at there? Or maybe, again, don't make that whole relationship between me and her father more strained because of this as well? Is that just the level we're operating at? I'm going to go see him face to face. I'm going to go apologize. Spare me the extra trouble. Like, is that what we're talking about? I think it is. Another one I noticed here when we get back home is Shizuka has a little smile. Now, I've only heard this, and again, I don't really have a source, but often people close to suicide get a little bit happier towards the day when they're going to do it because they're happy that, things are going to end. If you see somebody that's kind of depressed and they're randomly happy one day, maybe that's a good day to check in on them and that kind of thing, right? May give certain people, certain characters, the wrong impression that things are getting better. Very noticeably, Shizuka does not speak again until Marina confronts her after school. She is completely silent this entire time. She does not eat a thing either. Just all joy and happiness in her life has now disappeared now the chappie's gone. Unfortunately, it's straight up the next morning. Not a word said, not a thing eaten. Takopi still on my shoulder, and I'm the talk of the town at school. Everybody's heard about what's happened. I'm sure you made sure of that, and you're ready to put on a little bit of a show. Now, later on, we'll see this whole sling and bandage fall off to reveal nothing. It wasn't a big bite at all. It was, there was no... Yeah, you're a psycho. You're an absolute psycho. Again, all this continues to be is just an elaborate plan to make your life as torturous as possible. Just to increase the social pressure, to make me look like more of the victim, to really emphasize the pain of this dog attack that viciously attacked me. When again, it's nothing. There's nothing under there. It's fine. That dog died for no reason. It was pointlessly cruel. Like the start of the episode, and I was talking about how obvious it is that she's being super giga bullied, and you're just blank stare, just go about class, nothing. It's very obvious. It's very cynical. Once again, Azuma here only really has a short scene. I once again see him reflecting Takopi as a character that means the best, that wants to do the right thing, that sees a situation and wants to remedy it, but doesn't have the power, nor the tools, nor the full knowledge, nor the full motivation, maybe even, to go all the way with it, right? It's performative. It's almost like I'm the student kind of class president type person. I need to step in here and do something. That's my role. And it's more of a role than a genuine care for the person. Because if it was a genuine care for the person, then you would, walk her home. You would try to become a friend. You would talk about it a little bit more. You would try to bounce some more ideas off of her, or that kind of thing. And again, benefit of the doubt, you're not exactly being, forthcoming with that either. You're not really open and ready to have a friend, but I don't think this is it either. I don't know, to me it feels like the really studious, good kid at school doing their, one tokenistic kind of interaction with the depressed kid of the day. Like that kind of thing. And to be fully fair to the kid, I don't think that he even realizes that he's doing it, but you do, if there's a genuine care there, you do go that extra step beyond. He's also 10, give him a break, he's fine. School ends, Marina makes up an excuse and separates from her friends. It's time to go full psycho mode. Much like the first episode, we're really nailing this kind of foreboding feeling, right? It's like a pit in your stomach. You know something bad's about to happen. She's unresponsive, eyes glazed over, just stumbling forward. Something about the kind of ambiance of the forest as well, and the harsh sunlight. It's all just painting a situation. Again, she's in a completely different place to Takopi. She's not listening to him at all. It's not going to get better before it gets worse, I guess. And then, yeah, there it is. Hey, come talk with me. Marina wants to chat. Oh, there's some devastating touches here. Stop ignoring me, you piece of garbage. Look at this press of the fingers into the shoulder, right, as she passes. Like, just that one bit of pressure as they kind of wrap around you and, whisper in the ear and that kind of thing. Hearing that word, chappy, whispered in my ear. Now I'm suddenly responsive. I suddenly want to go along with her. Again, shows that significance of the dog to your life. Everything was kind of nothing before this point. As soon as you say chappy, I'm in, right? The eternal optimist is Takopi. Even again, after his encounter with Marina last episode, he's still like, they could have a cute, cheerful chat. No. Believe the Marina with the pen. That's the real her. Vowing to help them become friends again is Takopi. You don't do that, no. Very noticeably here, crossing this precipice, going, again, into the woods, away from prying eyes, where Marina can basically get away with anything. Crossing a barrier that should not be crossed. Yeah, very, very, very pointed. I like this quite a bit. That's, when we see that bandage coming off too, we realize how much she was playing it up. Once again, as that bandage comes off, we have probably the one kind of sympathetic moment we have for Marina in this episode. We see what the home situation's like. Dad's not home a lot. We know what's happening with Shizuka's mother. The mum probably knows too. She's stuck in the middle of it. She has to bear witness to kind of the fight and the aftermath, right? Where dad just gets to go away and do whatever else he's going to do. I'm stuck here dealing with whatever the hell this is. Once again, there's that touch on the face. It's almost bruised there as to how many times it's happened, Mari-chan, you understand, don't you? I don't care about anybody else but you. You're always on my side, aren't you? Textbook manipulation. So again, okay, I'm on your side, Mum. I'm ready and able to do things for you. The only thing that I can control as another 10-year-old is this other 10-year-old. Again, it's psychological abuse from the mother. It's like, you love Mum, don't you? Well, you need to do this, right? Because potentially that'll make your mum back off, maybe assuming, again, that the mum cares about Shizuka. And again, that'll make our family happy again. It's delusion. It's delusional. And you're falling into the delusion because the only kind of parental figure in your life is telling you to do so. Again, I'm inclined to be sympathetic. But the dog shit was psycho shit. You're on thin ice. Well, I guess you're not on any ice now that you're, dead. But anyway, a few more devastating touches here. I hate the acceptance here of Shizuka. Like, tears are already welling up in the eyes. I'm sure you guys have been here before, right? Just you already know when something's going to happen, and the anticipation of it happening is making you already emotional. Like, just, heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. And yeah, right into it. This is probably good to be the hardest part of the rewatch. I hate the kind of holding on to the hope that Shizuka has here and how quickly you snuff that out. Just continuing to scream that the dog is dead and that nobody loves you and all these other things. And just, Shizuka just scrambling the entire time, holding onto the collar, pleading with her. It's pretty much the only time we've actually seen her respond. And again, shows how much significance Chappie does have. And again, that dog's dead. Animal Services took it. You don't have a dad, those two in tandem, again, linking the dog and the father. You don't have a caring mum, like my mum's caring, too caring. You don't have friends. Well, I mean, I have Takopi. Nobody cares about you. That's that one cuts a little bit deep with the Azuma stuff, maybe too. And then, we get this suggestion from Marina, right? Why don't you just die? It's clear from here to fill in the gaps. She followed this advice, Who do you think pays for your living expenses with money from my daddy's wallet? All paid for with the money your mom sucks out of men. Like, again, just in both... kind of for both the mother and kind of Marina here, none of the blame placed on the father for being unfaithful and adulterous and stuff. No, instead, it's your mother's fault for seducing him and sucking him of all the value he has. Why don't we just call a shitty guy, right? Like, again, just I feel like, again, it comes from cope. It comes from cope that, no, we're a happy family. He's a loving husband. He's a loving father. He's all these things. I can't turn inwards and think about, my own side of the equation here and my own family, and that they might not be all they cracked up to be. But it feels deep down, again, you kind of know it too, and that's the tragedy. It's really funny now that she's just dead. None of this... at least with this version of Marina, will not go any further. That's very funny. Dad was supposed to buy my mother another ring. Not for some random hooker, but for my family. Yeah. This is when, again, you get very vulnerable in the conversation too. From here, just escalates and escalates, gets more and more violent. We switch perspectives over to Takopi, where Takopi's like, shit, I have to fucking help her, right? This is turning real fucking bad. That's another line there from Marina, just to go back to it as well. If you went away, my mommy would go back to being her old self. So what's the theory there? You go away, the mom also goes away, dad somehow falls back in line, and mom's happy? It's, again, I know you're 10, but it feels like a weird place to place the anger, I guess. Anyway, back to Takopi. He's about to do something he's going to regret. He's too nervous. He can't quite use the camera correctly, right? Now, this is when we play with perspective in a cool way. Takopi looks down at the camera and then kind of looks back up, and then it's a different scene. This time emphasizing how important Chappie is to Shizuka. No matter what happens, no matter how painful or terrible things get, probably, again, just this montage here, the best kind of editing stuff in the episode, the best direction. If I don't do anything, the situation will be the same. As emphasized in the rest of the show, I want nothing but the best for Shizuka. I need to muster up all my courage. I'll save you this time, P. Where Takopi flies into the situation, swinging an arm. There's an almighty thud. All the music cuts out, all the tension, all the build-up. We see a little bit of blood here in the foreground. And yeah, she's fucking super giga dead. And again, I kind of went through a lot of my feelings here. And the start of the reaction, how shocking it was, how unexpected it was. Hopefully it made for a good reaction. I hope so. And I feel really bad for Takopi. I don't think at any level here he wanted to kill her. He just wanted to stop the fighting. He just kind of underestimated his own strength and swung a little bit too hard. Again, his heart was in the right place. He wanted to protect Shizuka. He wanted to make sure that she didn't die. All these other things. Okay, shit, I hit her too hard. Time to use the happy camera for a do-over. doesn't work. And then, yeah, Takopi's having kind of a mental breakdown. Oh my god, I actually killed her. It was me. Did the camera break? Why is it all red? All this other stuff, right? And of course, the confusion upon seeing the biggest smile I've ever seen on Shizuka's face, along with the musical cue as well. Oh my god, some of the animation here is gorgeous too. Just this, like, it's really, really shocking. It's like this, like, really happy and really, like, scared feeling at the same time that I'm feeling from this scene. I don't believe in magic, but I've always wanted Marina-chan gone. Again, we kind of built up this magic theme through episodes 1 and 2. I didn't really believe, but now you've shown me and given me some belief in this kind of stuff. The first time we've heard her kind of very kind of, like, energetic and uppity and that kind of thing. The only time we saw this kind of voice come out before was when Takopi was impersonating you. I gave up on my dream of having her die, but it just came true. My wish has been granted. This is amazing. It's just like magic. And again, this is where we kind of go down a little bit of a delusion type path. Well, if magic's real, I bet that means that Chappie's alive as well. No, not necessarily. And also linking this into being able to see my father again. I'm a broken record on this. I just think it's a very obvious link. And Takopi's just so confused. He's like, I've murdered a child, but also the other child that I was kind of, you know, that I found first, that was kind of entrusted to me, is beamingly happy and believes in magic. I've accomplished one side of the goal while doing something irreversible on the other. Some kind of original sin, some may say. And yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Takopi. Thank you for killing her. And again, this line here, as I was talking about before, like, in your language, this act is called killing. That would imply that, like, either we have a different word for it, or it doesn't exist on our planet. Right? So again, that's why it's so unexpected. Original sin. Maybe I'm the first of the Happians to do something like this too. And just reiterating here that I feel like Takopi's, again, been characterized as quite naive and very, very powerful. And now, again, I've accomplished part of my goal. I see Shizuka-chan smiling. I may be inclined to kill again. I may be inclined to do similar things if it continues to make her smile. Do we go down this dark path? Just a prediction. Could be wrong, could be right. We never know. Or we won't know till next week, I guess. Again, the holding of the hands here, so let's go. It's giving fucking I'm gonna go on a spree vibes. And once again, like, kind of this title card, this is where the story truly begins. This is my true story, no more do-overs. It's all coming to the fore. This is when it feels like shit gets fucking real. We've set up all the stakes. We have the big kind of thing, the thing that's going to thrust the plot forward now in the death of Marina, and we're ready to go into the next chunk, the next kind of segment of the story. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Yeah, so in conclusion, this episode is unimaginably dark. This episode went in a completely different direction than what I expected. And yeah, I think this is going to be more of a messed up show than just a brutal one. I thought it was just going to be brutally sad and, like, just this, like, awful family situation kind of unraveled through time. But no, it's there's way more momentum than that. There's way more murder. There's way more child murder in this thing. Yeah, that title cut is so sick too. Yeah, and then into the A-Day. It was unexpected, but I really liked it still. Can't wait to see how next week just fucks with my expectations once again. Once again, well animated, good stuff going on under the hood. I like some of the theming. It's good. It's a good show. Please let me know if, like, next week is, like, 2 shorter episodes again, because I will try to do 2. But once again, they're pretty, like, heavy episodes regardless, right? I mean, I was close to crying. I don't know, in that reaction, so maybe I don't need that much emotional devastation all at once either. I'll leave it up to you guys. Just let me know. Patreon 1 week ahead. Episode 3 should be up there if you're ready and able to watch it. And yeah, long live Marina. I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.